Hey, Riley, Charlie here from Dtravel. As promised, I have some stuff to share with you. I'm super excited about. But first, just wanted to thank you for that incredibly inspiring and motivating discussion we had a couple weeks ago. Um, we took some diligent notes and shared them more broadly with our whole team. It's got everybody fired up, including myself, and yeah, just really excited to continue working with you on this and help you actualize the booking site of your dreams and help you get some more direct bookings going. Um, so I took all of that feedback that you had to heart, um, and hopefully I was able to capture a lot of that in what I'm going to share with you right now. So I'm going to walk through a prototype of what your end-to-end direct booking site could look like with Dtravel. End-to-end meaning your landing page when people go to unwindescapes.com, when they go into the properties page where they're searching and refining their search and filtering and looking at a map view and a list view, clicking into a property page, like a detail page for a specific property, get more details on that, and then the checkout flow and the confirmation page. That's what we call kind of the end-to-end direct booking suite. And as Quinn and I and Eric were talking about with you, maybe in the short term, uh, it's not that Dtravel is providing you that whole suite. Maybe in the short term, we're just doing the booking with like some kind of booking widget and checkout. But maybe, hopefully, eventually soon, like we could get something like this up and running for you end to end. Again, the big thing here being like it has to be positive to your conversion rates. That's our goal here. That's what we really truly believe that we can do is not just improve your conversion rates and generate more bookings for you, but also give you a solution that is just going to be cheaper and more efficient and more enjoyable for you to maintain and manage over time. As I told you, just like so much respect for the time and the money that you've invested into your business and your booking site by hiring an engineer to build this for you. But as you've expressed to us, like that's pretty costly. And to continue to manage this stuff and make changes over time, you have to rely on that person to do that on your behalf. But we want to give you tools where you can do this on your own. I'm not going to share the tool part with you in this video. We're still working on that, but that is something that will be coming in 2023 is you're going to be able to make swift, impactful updates and changes to the content of your website without writing a single line of code. And we want to make that as, as effective and easy and enjoyable as possible for you. So more to share on that in a future video. But for now, what I'm going to show you is a prototype. So this isn't like a functional website yet. My process here that I'd like to go through with you is share with you static designs and a prototype, get feedback on that. Once I have that feedback, maybe then turn it into something that's actually more of a live functioning website that has some richer, animations and interactions, and we could really make this thing pretty awesome if you're interested. But yeah, without further ado, let's check out the prototype I made. Okay, so I did the best that I could to like bring in as much of the content from your existing page that you have. So hopefully a lot of this feels familiar. Some of it won't feel familiar. That's just because I either couldn't find the right photos on your website, so I took the liberty of finding some nice stock photography, um, or I was just feeling like, I don't know, inspired and wanted to have a little fun, like whipping up a different logo for you. Not to say that this logo is better than the one that you have, um, but I just was having some fun with it. So first thing you'll see here that we talked about is having what we call like a hero section of your landing page, which is like what is above the fold that your guests are going to see on page load. And how can we offer something that is clear and compelling and provides like a very clear call to action and an obvious call to action to get as far down the funnel of booking one of your properties as possible. So that's the intent behind having this kind of like these search parameters above the fold is if you can get somebody to include dates or narrow down a location, from here, that's almost like jumping the line and skipping a line and skipping a lot of the steps in the process along that conversion funnel to eventually get closer to a booking. So that was the intention here. The other thing that you'll notice is one of the big takeaways I had from my chat with you is how critical mobile is. And like, I remember in my first or second year at Airbnb, our head of design, Alex Schleifer, was the person who like really championed how critical mobile bookings were and mobile experience. And so we prioritized that back in like 2014, 2015, because we saw the data come in that like most of the traffic of people booking properties was happening on mobile. Back then it was like about 50-50, but for you, 80% of your traffic to your site being on mobile devices, that's huge. And that trend isn't going anywhere. So like when we're ready to actually ship something like this for you, that is a lot of our attention is going to be put on making sure the mobile experience is compelling and performative. But for the sake of this presentation and this video, I kind of wanted to give you a more cinematic experience to kind of see this content come to life on a bigger device. So yeah, the next thing you'll notice is along the top here, these like featured reviews about list your property FAQ. These, we could do two things with this. One, you could have these things kind of these links go to a separate page, or you could have these links kind of like scroll you down to a section. And that's kind of the direction I chose to go with this. So like when you click on featured, it's going to bring you down to like the featured properties section where you're highlighting like your 1 to 2 to 3 best properties that you really want to like showcase to people. Like, hey, like this is the goods. Like these are the types of places that you're going to be staying in. This is the kind of experience that you're going to be having by booking with us. It's just immediately jumping into your ultimate value proposition, which is the property. Contact, again, this could be something that is at the bottom of your page. This could be something that's on its own page. What I'm going to choose, my decision right now for what I think is best for contact is to actually have clicking this button open up kind of a popover or a modal over the screen. And the intention behind that is, and as you're going to see as I click from page to page, your guests are going to kind of be accessing your contact information from different moments in their user experience. So the benefit of having that content live in a modal that can be summoned over any page is you're not going to lose your context on the page that you're accessing that content from. You're going to easily be able to access that content and then dismiss it away or close that modal and be right at that same position in the funnel and in the user experience that you were when you access that contact button to begin with. So that's kind of what I'm thinking there. Let's scroll down a little bit. So we have the featured properties section, which we talked about. Clicking on the home button is always going to bring you back up top. The next section we have here, and this was an idea that we were jamming on with you, is the idea of like categorizing your properties. I freaking love this idea. I think this is really cool, especially for folks like yourself who have, more properties that they can use something like this to be like, okay, do I want to have these quick filters or categories of my properties based on the audience type, like for families or for romantic getaways or for outdoor adventures? Do I want to have it by amenity type, like these properties are good for pets? Or these properties have like a full kitchen, or these properties have scenic views? I think this is an idea that on the tool side of this, we envision you being able to customize and create any kind of category that you want. And by creating that category, assigning it a name, then just like selecting from your properties list which properties you want to associate with that category. Essentially, these little cards will just link you to the search results page automatically filtered by that category. Underneath here, we have a review section. This could, I think what we were thinking was, assuming you're connected to a PMS and that PMS is connected to a booking channel like Airbnb or VRBO, we can pull in real reviews from actual guests. There's a bunch of different ways that we can do this. We can have you write out the testimonials if you want. This is something that we think about a lot, is reviews. So, a way to build social proof and to start to establish that trust and credibility with your guests is extremely important. And we have some really exciting things that we're working on that are specific to the Web3 technology that we are super bullish on, that I think are going to completely revolutionize how people think about online trust, especially in the short-term rental space where you're transacting and interacting with a real person online and offline. So super pumped about that stuff, but that's like later 2023, maybe even 2024. There's a lot of stuff that we need to accomplish first before getting to that really interesting stuff, but stay tuned there. We are probably going to want your feedback on all of that stuff too. Um, the about section is, you mentioned how critical it is for you to tell a story to your guests about you, about your business. What's the unique point of view and perspective that you have on travel that translates to the experience that your guests are going to be having when booking with you? I just copy and pasted the text you had because I felt like it was great. This idea of like having mindful, immersive travel that gets you like away from your digital device and away from your normal day to day and out into nature in this kind of like relaxing setting and meditative mindset, I think is really, really awesome like angle on travel that can help set you apart. And so having modules like this or sections on this page like this that allow you to express that is great. Like we want to keep exploring those and finding different ways to allow you to do that. The other thing you mentioned was because you're constantly looking to build your portfolio of properties, you need a section on your page that speaks directly to owners to say, hey, like if you want to make some passive income, here's what this business relationship looks like. I'm going to include X, Y, Z. I'm not going to include A, B, C. And the terms are going to be, 90% of the, I don't know, nightly price I'll take or you'll take, and 10% of it goes to me. You can establish that. You can set those rules and customize all of this text the best you want. And then like a little FAQ section at the bottom where you can highlight a few things. I think the idea overall with this page is that it's going to have a basic structure or a flow, right? Every Dtravel powered page is going to be consistent in that it follows a formula for what generates highly converting guests. And that formula in our point of view right now is, a compelling hero section, a featured properties section, a section to express reviews and social proof, a section about your business, and then everything after that is, or within that, is customizable and optional and modular for you to kind of choose to use or choose not to use. And also within each of these sections, there maybe are different templates or different ways of showcasing that section. So let me jump into an example here. I'm going to get out of the prototype and go into the designs. I'll show you how to use this too, because I'm going to send you a link to all this stuff so you can drop in feedback. So if we think about the hero section as one section on your landing page, and we think about the featured section as another section, maybe each of these sections you can select, oh, I want to show 2 properties here instead of 3, or I want to show 5 properties, or I want to show 4 properties, or I'm going to do 3 properties, but I want it displayed this way instead of this way. We want to give you that kind of customization so that you feel like this page and this experience is conveying your brand and your story the way that you want. We want you to feel proud of this, right? So let's look at an example of how your hero section might look differently. These are all just like quick explorations. I could churn out 100 of these in a day, but I didn't want to get too far without getting your feedback first. So here's like an example where your, search parameters or booking parameters are laid out a little bit differently with an image at the bottom. Here's another variation of that. Here's a third variation of that, and on and on and on. There's just like many, many ways that we can do this. And it should be ultimately like your decision on how you want to do that, because it's your business. And yeah, we're all about control at Dtravel. We want to put control in the hands of you. That's the beauty of direct bookings. You're in the driver's seat. You're earning all the revenue. The, big brother Airbnb, Brian Chesky, is out of the equation. You set your rules, you customize everything to your liking, and you generate the revenue that you deserve. The challenge here, though, is we're trying to build a product as a decentralized autonomous organization. So we have skin in the game with you. We have equal shared investment and we have shared incentives, but we're building a product here that we ultimately want to scale to other hosts like you. So the challenge for us is the more customization we provide, the more difficult it is to build a product like that, the more time it takes to build a product like that, because the more bespoke a solution is, the less likely it is going to apply to other hosts. However, the less customization we provide you, then we're just going to end up with booking sites that all look the same because all Dtravel hosts are using the same thing. So we're trying to find somewhere in the middle, right? We want you to feel like you are in ultimate control, and ultimately we want you to have a direct booking site that, one, you're proud of, that reflects your business and your brand and your story, and two, generates bookings, right? At the end of the day, this is all about conversion. So I think it's going to be an incremental journey over time to constantly be providing more and more templates, constantly be providing more and more optionality and modularity within these sections. And we're happy to have you along that ride with us. So yeah, just a few more explorations here. Back to the prototype. So this is your, what we call P1, page one, landing page, home page. It's all about kind of like an overview of you and your business and your properties that your guests are going to book. When your guests hit book now or explore properties, which there are several different entry points to this next page on your P1, now you're taken to P2, or what your search results are, right? This is like one big step down the guest consideration and funnel process, where they're refining their search. They're thinking more about, okay, should I stay in this area or this area? What are the amenities that are important to me? What's the price here? They're really starting at this point. Maybe, you brought up trust in our last conversation, and a huge piece of trust is coming across as legitimate. Like, does this website feel legit? Does this business feel legit? So good design is going to go a long way in like building that credibility. And your P1, or your homepage, which is the page that we were just on, like, this is where that's the first impression. First impression with your guest. Is this legit? Can I trust it? Who are the people behind this business? Do they have the goods that I'm looking for? Okay, cool. I'll go check out some properties. Now here, this process is all about thinking about their trip and what type of property that they're looking for more specifically. So they're like less thinking about the trust things, more thinking about putting their mindset into their future travel experience and imagining themselves on that trip and what they're looking for, right? And how much they're willing to pay for that. When they click into a property, this is again one step further down that funnel. Here's where they're really thinking about the details of specific properties. What am I getting out of this? Does it match the needs and the vibe of my trip? And is the price worth it? So that's what we call P3, or page 3, your detailed page of your properties. I think you've probably seen a lot of this stuff. I don't need to go too much into detail here, but another thing you'll notice is, like, along that theme of customization, we want to offer you the ability to, like, at least in the short term, by short term, I mean like Q1 and Q2 of this year, customize your color, like what's your dominant brand color, and then maybe select from like some fonts that you want to customize and use that are specific to your brand. And so by changing the font, you're going to be changing all this text here across all pages. By changing the color, you're going to be changing the book color, some of the link color in your buttons and your hyperlinks, and that will apply across every page in the funnel. So your P1, your P2, where your map hills are kind of this green color, P3, book button, right? And then when you go into checkout, same thing. Your confirm and book now button is that green color. So this is the checkout page. You may have already seen this with conversations with Eric. We are hyper focused on this page because this is really where the conversion happens. How can we help guests immediately understand that they're saving by booking directly, the advantages of booking directly? This needs to feel quick and performant and mobile friendly, and it just has to work. And if it doesn't work, it erodes trust in the guest who has that in the back of their mind. Like, okay, I'm not booking with the Airbnbs and the VRBOs of the world, which I've grown accustomed to. Instead, I'm booking directly with this person who I've learned all about and I'm excited to book with. But like, is my money actually going to go to the right person? Is this a scam? Do they have like the payment options I'm looking for, right? Um, this is all very tactical, very e-commerce driven design principles here. So after they finish this page, they get like a confirmation page. I didn't add that into the prototype, but we currently have that live in our product. Um, our product today live supports everything that I've shown you in terms of P1, P2, P3, P4, and P5, homepage, search page, product detail page, checkout page, and a confirmation page. We have that whole end-to-end service working right now and highly performant. The only thing we don't have right now is the customization, right? We have one basic template that anybody can use and upload their own photos and change the content, but we don't have things like changing your brand color, changing fonts, adding in optional sections, selecting from a few different templates of sections. That's all stuff that's to come in 2023 that we desperately need your input on. So feedback on this stuff is like gold to us, and we really appreciate it. And hopefully in return, you feel like you're going to end up getting the booking website of your dreams. That's what this is all about. So that's everything that I wanted to share with you in terms of design. Next, I just want to kind of let you know like how you can collaborate with me and like how you can leave feedback on this stuff. So this tool that I'm using is called Figma. Not sure if you've ever used it, but it's industry standard for product design. And the beauty of it is when I send you this link, you don't need any software. It'll open up in your browser. It works great in the browser. You're probably not going to be able to edit this stuff, but what you will be able to do is comment. So I'm going to send you a link. Click on the link. When you open the link, there's in the upper left here, if you can see my mouse, there should be an icon for add comment. And then at any point, you're like, oh, this looks really cool. I dig this. You can click here and be like, I dig this. Or this sucks. Try this. Any kind of feedback here is so important, and I would love that. So again, this little icon here for add comment, and then you can just click anywhere here and add comments, and I'll get notified of it, and I'll jump right in here immediately, and I can add comments back, and we can collaborate entirely within here. I actually created your own Figma project called Riley's Dream Booking Site, and this explorations and the prototype I made is just the beginning. Let's fill this thing up. Let's keep working on this. Let's crack away at this. Would love to jam on this with you as a design partner. And I'm just really eager to hear your feedback. So thank you again. Thanks for letting me, yeah, thanks for letting me jam on this. This is your baby. This is your business. Happy to help you in any way that I can. And thanks for listening to a 23.5 minute long video of me ramble about a bunch of design nerd stuff. All right, without further ado, I'll end this. Really looking forward to hearing back from you. Thanks, Riley. Later.